All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Wadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalom, salutations to the hopeful elect, that's fighting a good fight of faith and truth, and sincerity and wholeheartedly. Shalom to the Akwath, which is the women believers. Shalom to you. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So, I got a few scriptures in mind. I was thinking about this. And, when you go through basically life, especially life in the truth, you start to look at all your experiences and even maybe just a recent experience. And then, when you really try your best to do what the scripture says, it really works. And the scriptures talks about being temperate in all things. And that's what I want to highlight and also title the video, being temperate in all things, which another word for temperate is self-discipline. All right. Self-control and discipline. That's pretty much what temperance is. So, even in situations where an argument can ensue, a confrontation in general can ensue. When you start to think about scriptures like this, it said, a wrathful man stirreth up strife, but he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife. So, being able to rule your spirit, that is a very, very important trait. Since we are imperfect creatures and we do fall short, you will have times where you might not be able to rule your spirit the way that you would like. And it always happen like afterwards, you be like, damn, I should have not said this or I should not did that. But, the Lord gave us the tools to be able to escape, those type of situations. Sometimes we put ourselves in these situations. We allow, demons in that time to provoke you, because it could be a situation where, a person make you mad. It could be the same person that make you mad. It could be, children. It could be your woman, whatever, your boss, co-worker, whatever. But you have to really know how to rule your spirit and really look at it like, it is what it is, man, because Satan's job is to sift you. And, they cause so much, what's the word? Because I don't want to say chastisement, because that's what the Lord do. But to cause so much frustration, how about that? To cause so much frustration to the point that you lose faith, that you lose, the sight of what we're trying to get to. So you always have to, meditate on the scriptures. And when you come to a situation, you really have to do it. Like, you really, whatever the situation is, if you've been in the truth for a long time, like if you a new person, maybe been in the truth for a year or two, you need to be always studying. You need to always be reading. You need to always be praying. Even the ones who actually been in this thing for a long time, they still do it. I remember years ago, all right, one of the apostles said something, like the apostles, man, the ones who've been in this truth, 30 plus years, they read every day. So who the hell are we, So anyways, the point that I'm making is that you have to meditate on the scriptures and you have to apply them. You have to apply them. That's what the word is here for. And also the word is called a comforter. John 14:26, John 14:18. I will not leave you comfortless. All right. So we have what we need, to navigate in this life. So you have to be able to be slow to anger, which is discipline. Matter of fact, I think I could just push next. Oh, not next. Oh, yeah, that's right. I think it's 32. Yep. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. Because one thing about discipline, right? When you are disciplined and you are able to rule your spirit, you can make better decisions, rational decisions. See, you make irrational decisions when you're angry and hasty. You're just angry. It's like a person being angry. I always use boxing analogies. A person being angry, right? He just throwing haymakers. He trying to knock you out. But the one who is disciplined is looking for counters. See, most people who angry, they just throw haymakers. Their other hand is down because they're trying to put all their might into every punch. So they're not looking to, if they throwing the right, the left hand is up. And if they throwing the left, the right hand is up. It's just open. So a man who is disciplined, he's seeing the opening and he's going to strike. All right. But the man who was angry, throwing everything into his punch, and then from the outside looking in, people like, oh man, damn, that nigga about to knock him out. And then that one get knocked out because the person was disciplined. He was able to rule his spirit, But also too, when you are angry, you do things, you cause harm to yourself. Because if we act out through all the chastisement that we go through, the demons that we come across, people who piss us off, imagine we just say fuck it and then we just lose our mind and just get angry and then we do something stupid. You could do something that could get your life taken or your freedom taken. Okay? And you're out the truth. Because you was stupid. So you got to be temperate in all things. Matter of fact, I had to go to the Apocrypha real quick. So it said, the fear of the Lord driveth away sins, and where is present, it turneth away wrath. A furious man cannot be justified. See? So when you're furious, you're not in the spirit. You allow the spirits to take over you, the evil spirits, all right? And they're going to have their way with you. Because look, it say, for the sway of his fury shall be his destruction. Like the examples that I made. It's either you're going to get yourself killed, you might kill somebody, which take away your freedom. All right? Either way, it's a lose-lose situation. Okay? So a furious man cannot be justified. So that means that you weren't able to rule your spirit. Like I said, we all fall short, but there's certain things that you shouldn't fall short in, because it's too late in the game. And the Lord been blessing us tremendously with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So it's no excuses. We all have to go through our bumps and bruises, our roller coaster ride, ups and downs. But after you've been in this thing for a little bit, hey, there's no excuses now. You had your bumps and bruises. You had your experiences. Now it's time to, apply the word. That's why the Lord said this, actually. Oops. He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding. And I love this scripture, right? Because since the Lord told us about the straight gate, the Lord told us that our fight is not against flesh and blood. So that means even the people that's around you, demons jump on them all the time. So you got to be able to navigate through that. You got to be able to ignore. And if you can't ignore it, then you got to walk away. If you continue to stay in that situation, something is going to eventually happen. Scripture says that he will make a way to escape. In the scripture of 1 Corinthians 10 and 13, saying that he will not put more on us than we can bear. All right. So 99% of the time is self-inflicted. The things that you go through when it comes to you not ruling your spirit. So if you are slow to wrath, you have great understanding. But look what the scripture says. But he that is hasty, so that means a person that's not disciplined, of spirit, exalteth folly. You look foolish. You look stupid. Scripture talks about being blameless. You know, the Lord said that we supposed to shine, supposed to be the shining lights in the world. But just say that you get into a confrontation on the highways and byways, you really got to know how to conduct yourself. You really do. Because let's say an alphabet member walk past. You know how we can't stand those people, right? You might even say something like, look at this shit, man. This is why Babylon the Great got to be destroyed. Let's say if that alphabet member overhear you and then his fruity ass come over talking about what you say, excuse me. What you gonna do in that situation? All right. Now, what you want to do is pick up a stone. All right, like how it's supposed to happen, as the scripture says. But we ain't in our kingdom, so you have to walk in wisdom. All things may be lawful, but all things ain't expedient, as it say in 1 Corinthians 10:23. So, matter of fact, let me see if they say that, because it might be 6:23. Let me see if I'm right. Yep. All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. So, yeah, so alphabet member try to get in a confrontation with you, you know, there's a way. Matter of fact, this is the way. Is it 15:1 or 16:1? Let's see. Damn it. I think it's 15:1. Yep. A soft answer turneth away wrath. So yeah, it's like, you know, hey man, my bad, man. You know, just go on your day, man. You know. Nah. I didn't like what you said. You know what? I'm sorry. You know what? My bad. You know, I'm sorry. You know, go on about your day, man. You know. But here's the thing though. The Lord word is what stands. You're not going to keep on having a soft answer and then a person would keep on being, you know, confrontational. And the reason I know this is because I had situations where a soft answer turned away wrath. Person was coming at me, you know, high strong. And in the beginning, I was high strong back. But then after I seen where it could actually go, and I'm like, man, I'm about to choke this dude. Let me chill out, because I'm out here representing Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, you know? So after I talked to him calmly, the situation got calm. So if you do what the scripture says, then you will be in good hands. So a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up wrath, all right? No matter how much you might not like an alphabet member, if they try to have confrontation with you, hey man, you got to be humble. You got to be humble, man. You got to say, you got to basically, as the scripture says, if somebody hit you on the other cheek, hit you on one cheek, turn the other cheek. See, people think that Christians think that that's talking about somebody slapping you on your left side of your face and then you turn to the right and let him slap you on your right. No, it's talking about let them have it, man. Let them have it. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's in Proverbs 12. But I gotta see. I think it's a heaping coals of fire. Heaping coals. Oops. Let's see. Oh, it's 26. That's coals to burning coals. Wood. Yep. All right. I'm pretty sure it's another one, but I'm gonna see. So it's Proverbs 26:21. As coals are to burning, as coals are to burning coals, and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife. That's not the one I was looking for. All right, I'm gonna try one more thing. think this is it. I think this is it. 25. Yep. So this is what it's talking about. When it talks about, turn the other cheek, and somebody hit you on the right cheek, turn the other cheek and let them, So if your enemy be hungry, give him bread to eat. And if he be thirsty, give him water to drink. For you shall heap coals of fire upon his head, and Yahweh shall reward you. See, he will turn the situation into your favor just by doing what he says. Okay? So if you don't, because the scripture says that vengeance is his, right? So you ain't supposed to take your own judgment. Allow the Lord to work. But we still on the topic, but I felt like we was getting off a little bit because I want to get to the actual title of this video. Scripture. So it says, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that you may obtain, because you got to know what you're fighting for, and being able to rule your spirit and be temperate in all things. You have a way better chance than just being hasty and always being angry and allowing everything to bother you. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it. Now who is the they? Because you have, athletes, right? Let's just use them. See, when you are boxing, I'm always going to use boxing because I love boxing. That's my favorite sport outside of basketball. So boxing, you have to abstain from sex. You have to abstain from alcohol, certain foods. All right. So that's being temperate. And everything in life, if you want to be great at it, you have to be temperate. You can't just be indulging in everything. That's what you call lack of discipline. Temperate is another word for discipline. Okay. So they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we are incorruptible. So just to use that as an example, we have to be temperate in all things. We have to look at every situation. All right. Analyze everything before you do anything. All right. And of course, that's easier said than done because we're corruptible creatures. But we have the word, the Lord is with us, and we have to apply it, and he will reward us. All right. So, I was just thinking about that, meditating on that. And look, 18 minutes. I thought it was going to be 10 minutes, to be honest, but the Spirit do what it does. But hopefully this video is edifying. So seek ye out the Lord while he may be found. And shalom.